Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thousands of memories are created and captured in each photo taken on your magical vacation. We proudly present Capturing Magic, where we help those moments live on forever.
Welcome to Capturing Magic. I'm Steph from CapturingMagic.me and TheDailyDigi.com. I am here with my co-host, Brittney Leavitt, who can be found at BritishDesigns.com, where she creates digital scrapbook supplies. Hi, Britt.
Hi.
I can talk. And we have also joining us today a member of the Capturing Magic team, Kim Lund, who can be found at DocumentLifeNow.com. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's summer.
Yay! So that means you're out of school because you're a teacher.
That's right.
And so you have some time off.
I do. Well, actually, I go back to work next week, but I have this week off, and that's great.
Yay! And we're happy that we get to have you back when you have time off.
Yes, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, you've been on a couple of other times with us, and so we're super glad to have you back. You are just a wealth of Disney everything. So it's a great thing. Okay, when you go to the parks, Kim, this is something that we've been asking everybody now on the show. When you go to the parks, what parks do you typically go to, and who do you go with?
We go to all of the parks. We tend to alternate going to Florida, Walt Disney World, doing all 4 parks there, plus the water parks, about every 4 years. And then on the off years, hopefully, every 4 years also, but about every 2 years, we go to a Disney park, if that makes any sense.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there.
Okay. We go to Disneyland and California Adventure. It's actually, let's see, we went to California Adventure in 2009. We went to Disney World last year in 2012. And I take my family, which is now my husband, which we've been married 23 years this year.
Congratulations.
And thank you. My son is 19, and I have a 17-year-old daughter, and I have a 13-year-old daughter. So
Perfect. Your oldest just finished his first year of college, is that right?
He did, and he's getting ready to change his major.
Well, so typical, right?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
It's such drama, though, so yeah.
I think I changed mine a couple times before I graduated, and now I'm doing nothing with anything to do with my major at all.
Yeah.
Same here.
What did you major in, Britt?
I majored in theater with an emphasis in costume design for film.
Wow.
And I used to do that. I used to costume design films, and then I got married and realized I hated the lifestyle and wanted to be able to see my family and my husband, and just hated the life, and so I made the switch. So now I do nothing related to that.
That's impressive, though. I had no idea.
Oh, well, yeah, that was a different life, but
yeah, I know. That's me too. I did speech pathology, and I never went on and got my master's degree. I just got my bachelor's, but I did work in the school districts as a speech assistant, an assistant to the speech pathologists. So yeah, totally different life for me too. Crazy, huh?
How it goes.
That's actually what my son is changing to, a speech path.
Oh, is he?
He is.
I loved it. I really did love it. But same thing, when I had kids, I didn't go on to get my master's or anything. And here I am doing this other thing completely unrelated, but it works. And I love it. So funny how life happens, huh?
Yes.
For sure, yeah. Well, good for him. Tell him good for him.
I know, but it's really messing with my need to plan Disney because now it affects our when we can go. The only time we can go is spring break.
Oh, shoot.
I know.
Because
ours is in early March.
Because you are. I guess we can jump right into it right now, into our topic. Or we have some news, don't we? Did we have news?
A little
bit of news. Okay, let's do our news really quick, and then we can jump into our topic, because that's kind of what we're talking about a little bit today. We had one little news item. I texted Britt over the weekend because ticket prices went up. at all of the parks on Saturday. If you want information, it's too late to do anything about it now. On Saturday, well, Friday, they announced that prices were going up Sunday. Right? Am I right?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So you would have had one day, if you heard about it, you would have had one day to hurry and buy passes, tickets, all of that good kind of stuff at the old prices. But now there's not, you just have to budget for the increases. They do this typically every year, once a year, this time of year.
Yep.
And prices go up. Go ahead, Britt.
I was going to say, we bought our tickets the week before, just anticipating this happens, because this always kind of happens right after Memorial Day. So we bought our tickets last week and kind of just said, okay, I think prices will go up. So we bought our tickets for October already. So we're good. But I was going to say, the prices, they went up. I mean,
Not a ton.
Not a ton. Okay. They went up a lot for just like regular park tickets, but annual passes and things like that didn't go up as much, especially compared to previous years.
Right.
Like last year, it was like
huge.
It was huge.
For the deluxe pass at Disneyland, which is what you're looking at. For now, Premier Pass, which is what I've had for almost a year now. It'll be a year and not almost a year. 6 months. I've had it for 6 months. And that price went up $130, which is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And they've cut back on some of the benefits for that pass.
Oh, really? I didn't look at that part.
Well, at Disney World, just in January, they decreased the discount that you get. Instead of getting, I think we were getting 20%, and instead of that on merchandise now we're down to 10, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
bummer.
Yeah. Yeah. But for the regular park tickets, it wasn't huge.
Yeah. Well, okay, so like our passes, we did 4-day passes, because then we're also going to do a ticket to the Halloween party, and so that we're going to count that, kind of use that as like a 5th day. So we did 4-day passes, and they went up $30 a ticket. And so we saved basically $60 by buying them a little early.
Which is a couple meals in the park. I mean, it adds up. It really does. It all
for sure.
up.
Especially if you have a big family. And like Kim, if you're buying a whole bunch of tickets, that's a big saving. So
yes, it is. It was only, I looked though, and it was only like at Disney World, it was only 5 to 7%. But it sounds like Disneyland went up a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, their day-to-day tickets did go up more than that. But
Magic Kingdom now is more expensive than all of the other parks.
Yeah.
Yes.
I noticed that. Weird. And they parking went up, everything went up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, there you have it. That's all the news we've got. And it's old news at this point.
And we'll link up to there's a good article at touringplans.com that we can link up to in the show notes in case people want to look at the new prices and stuff.
Yeah, that has a breakdown of all of the different ticket levels, everything that you might.
Yeah.
Because especially at Disney World, it can get super confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, now we're ready to jump into our discussion topic today, which is capturing magic at Disneyland versus Disney World. Creating and capturing magic at Disneyland versus Disney World. Kim is, as she said, trying to plan a trip. Right, Kim?
Yes, we are. We've gotten in the habit of when our children graduate from high school, we go to a Disney park. So our second one graduates next year. So it's her turn. And we don't know where to go.
I just think it's wonderful that your kids, that's what they want to do for graduation. I'm trying to convince my daughter that that's what she wants to do for graduation. She's not on
She's not on board.
Not yet. Mm-mm.
My son says he had no choice. I just planned it for him and called it his graduation trip.
That's about what we're looking at here, yeah. So you're trying to decide between Disneyland and Disney World.
Yes, and we're pretty much locked into spring break because of my son's school schedule. He'll be going to school over the summers as well. Plus, I do work 2 weeks every summer. And so we're looking at spring. Oh, and we have family reunions and stuff in the summer. So spring break is our only choice. March 15th through 22nd, but it's well away from Easter, which is in April. So that makes it a little better. But we just literally go back and forth from day to day. So
what are some of the things that you've looked at as you've been trying to decide which park you want to go to? Because there's a whole bunch of states that live in between California and Florida that could really go either way.
Yeah, and I live in Kansas, so like airfare is pretty much the same to and from. There are no direct flights out of the town. We have a fairly large airport here, but no direct flights to either one. Let's see. So we look at, can we do Disney World in a week? We took 10 days last year when we did it. Mm-hmm. Or will we feel too rushed? If we go to Disney World, I feel like we need to stay on property so that we get all those nice on-property benefits. Last year when we went, we stayed at Vistana, which is a timeshare, but we left the parks every day by 4 and never went back. If we're only going to be there a week, I feel like we need to go back. Then I think about Disneyland, and it's just so cozy, and it's so cute, and it's all right there. And it's Disney to me. Mm-hmm. So, but the family likes Disney World better. So we constantly, and then if we go, where do we stay? It literally is, well, and right now my sister's at Disneyland. So we're leaning very heavily towards Disneyland right now. Because her Instagram feed is full of all her pictures. But yeah, that's some of the things I think of.
And you haven't done Cars Land yet?
No, it was not there in 2009. And also World of Color was not there. It was a big empty lake. Mm-hmm. So you all are welcome to help me decide.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, how do you make your decision? My goodness. That's what we're talking about today, right?
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
How to decide.
So what, have you, so you looked at cost, both versus, have you looked at like the cost for food, one park versus another and all of that kind of stuff?
I actually have not. I figure airfare is going to be the same. I'm fairly sure Disney World would be more expensive.
Yeah. I think so too, food wise.
Yes. Well, and
just in
also,
general.
Yeah. And then there's meals you have to eat if you go to Disney World, like we have to go to Ohana and so then that adds when we have 5 adults in our family because they are all Disney adults. Whether they're really adults or not is different. So then, and then you look at staying on site versus at Disneyland. You can stay right across the street and still walk there. And so, cost has not come into the factor right now.
Yeah. So what are some of the things, I know we've talked before about how we like each park. Each park is very different, and we like each park for different reasons. So what are some of the reasons, Britt, that you like each park?
Well, I'm a Disneyland girl for sure. I mean, it's definitely my home park. Yeah, but it's not to say I didn't enjoy my time at Disney World because I've only I've said before on the show lots of times, I've only been there twice on 2 different trips. But I just feel like they're completely different vacations. Mm-hmm. When I go to Disneyland, it's way more relaxed, and I'm closer to Disneyland, so it's easier for us to take trips there, obviously, and we can make shorter trips. Whereas I feel like Kim was saying, if we have a longer chunk of time, then I would maybe more look toward a Disney World trip, just because if we're going to go clear across to the East Coast, we want to be able to spend a lot of time there. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that I love staying on
property.
What's it called? Property. Oh, sorry, my brain is not here today. I love staying on property at Disney World because it's just staying in that bubble. That's just such a fun experience and something I've never done at Disneyland. I've never stayed at any of the Disney hotels at Disneyland before. So just sort of staying in that Disney bubble for the whole week is magical. And I love that. And I love the dining at Disney World. It's such a bigger deal than it is at Disneyland. I mean, there's lots of great options at Disneyland. It's just not as focus. It's like not as much the focus, I think, as it is at Disney World.
Well,
So
there's a lot more sit down restaurants and stuff at Disney World that you're going to find. And I think that's why it's maybe a bigger deal at Disney World, is because there's much more theming that goes around in in the sit down restaurants, and there's just more opportunity for it than there is at Disneyland.
Yeah. That's very true. But yeah, I think maybe the main factor for us, I mean, for us right now, one of the main factors of where we would choose is how old Scarlett is. And so, like, for us, since we don't go to Disney World very often, we'll probably wait till she's older so that she'll really remember it. And we can, because it's more of a special occasion kind of trip for us, like, we don't go very much. We'll probably Josh and I have talked, like, we'll probably wait till she's a little older and can maybe remember it. But I don't know. There's so much I love about both. It's hard. We've talked about this before. It's like almost like you just really can't compare. Like, they're so different.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges, I think.
I think so.
In a lot of ways. There's, even staying on site, because I've stayed on site at Disneyland now twice, which is not a lot, but I've done it twice. And I would say that it's still a different feel and a different experience doing it at Disneyland versus Disney World. And a lot of it is because the hotels even at Disney World are so themed. I don't feel like I'm as much in the Disney bubble, like you said, at Disneyland, even when I'm staying on site, as much as I do when I'm at Disney World.
Well, and it's different because you're not taking the buses and you're not doing all that. It's such a different feeling for me. It was. I was just amazed at how different I felt on a Disney World trip.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally, even walking in the parks, because, getting ready to do the apps, I've been bouncing back and forth between parks quite a bit. And so I'd be 1 month one park and the next month in the other park for a week at a time. And it was really interesting for me to walk into the Magic Kingdom, and there's a definite feel there. But you walk into Disneyland and there's a definite feel there, but it's a different feel. And it's for really interesting to me that I didn't expect that, I guess.
My sister, she texted me right after she landed, after they first went to Disneyland. She'd never been to Disneyland, has been to Disney World. I guess it was 2004. We did a big extended family trip. And she said she loves how Disneyland is so compact and so how easy it is to get around compared to her. Well, and we went to Disney World as kids too. So that was her only experience. And I think that's part of what the draw is for Disneyland. It's just all right there.
Yeah. It's as Josh and I went back to Disneyland after our first trip to Disney World, we were just even more in love with that, like, compact, small kind of feeling where it's like, I don't know if the word is quaint or what it is, but it's just, we love how much smaller it feels. And I don't know that it is a lot smaller as far as like, square footage goes, but it just feels smaller. I don't know. We really like that feeling.
It's funny because I like how I don't have to walk a ton at Disneyland, but I get claustrophobic feeling a lot
at
Disneyland too. I do, especially if it's crowded. Just because I feel like people are on top of me and I want to push the buildings back and make the people spread out.
Yeah.
I get kind of claustrophobic there because everything is so close. And so I think for some people it's a benefit, and for others of us that struggle with that, I really like how spread out everything is at Disney World for that reason.
Like the space.
The space, and feeling like I am not, sardined in there and right on top of other people and other people on top of me. Although the walking is exhausting at Disney World.
And the heat for us was really exhausting. That was like probably our number one not complaint, but struggle at Disney World was we just were there in a heat wave and it was so humid. We're from the desert, so we're not used to humidity. You know, it's dry here. And so we were like, what is this? Like, we just couldn't handle the humidity and the heat. That really killed us.
It's exhausting.
It zapped our energy like that, you know? So
yeah, it does.
And that is not a factor at Disneyland. I mean, it gets hot at Disneyland, especially in the summer, but it's never like disgustingly humid like that. It's more fair weathered park, I think.
Yeah. And in Orlando, you have to plan on rain every single day.
Yep.
No matter what the season is. Some more than others.
Yep. So Kim, when you went, go ahead. I was going to say, when you went last time to Disney World, you didn't see New Fantasyland or anything like that, did you?
No, it was still behind the construction barrier. So no.
So see, that's another deciding factor, I guess, for me would be like what is new to see, and you've got new things on both sides, so that doesn't help you. But
yeah,
right, because for me, I really want to go see all that. So like that's a big draw for me. I want to go to Disney World and see all of that. But also, there's just so much at California Adventure to see right now that if you haven't been in the last year, then it's like a whole new park. You've got you've almost got a whole new park to see.
Yeah, even Ariel or the Little Mermaid ride wasn't there when we were there. They had close that area down to start redoing it. So, but I was going to say about the weather that ironically, that's one of the things. My 17-year-old is very loving the sun right now. And in fact, she's at the pool right now tanning, and she doesn't want to go to California because she knows it's going to be on the cooler side. Well, I think it's perfect weather, but cooler side for laying out and tanning and getting in the pool versus going to Florida where it's probably going to be warmer and better pool weather. So
March, yeah.
Yeah.
So all these things come into it.
Yep.
Because she doesn't want to have to wear a coat at Disney. And I'm like, well, you probably would only have to at night.
Yeah. I would say in March, it depends. You might get in a cool week, but in March, usually you just have to wear a coat at night.
Sweatshirt during the day. In the morning and in the evening.
Yeah.
Layer.
Yep. If you're Steph, you can wear like several pairs of pants.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
But for us normal people,
what is cold to you? Because cold here is like below zero. Oh,
yeah.
And I wear flip flops when it hits 50.
Yeah, so that's how I am too. So for me, it's not that bad.
We need to explain for the listeners that don't know, when I was in Disneyland in January, they had a cold spurt and it was freezing. And I honestly believe that Disneyland blocked all of the weather apps or anything within the parks because nobody, no matter if you were Android or iPhone, you could not pull up weather on any app to see what temperature it was. But I heard from people that were local that were coming into the parks that it was it was 32. During that time. It was freezing cold. And so, yeah, I was wearing 2 pair of pants, 2 sweatshirts, and a coat because
I've never been there. I've never been to Disneyland when it's been that cold.
Can you imagine?
No. That's why I want to believe you, Steph. But I'm sort of going,
yeah, right.
I don't know if I believe you.
I know. It was freezing and I had my hat on and my gloves and it was miserable. I mean, it was still fun because it's Disney. It's always going to be fun. Yeah. But it was cold. But for me,
this is how I feel. I feel out. This is just my personality. I would much rather bundle up and wear my 2 pairs of pants than be in like just feeling disgusting all day long. Just feeling like I want to rip off all my clothes. You know, just that sick, sticky,
sweaty.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I hate that. I'd much rather be cold.
I'd rather have the heat.
But that could be it's opposite. Because I feel like I could still enjoy it if it was cold. Where if it's hot, I almost am like, get me out of here.
I know. Exactly. What about memory-wise? Let's think about some of the memories that you can make at each of the different parks. There's different shows, of course, that are going to contribute to those memories. Mm-hmm. And there's a brand new one at Disneyland that none of us have seen, the Mickey and the Magical Map.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Things. The awesome Aladdin show at California Adventure is still there, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be there forever.
I love it.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
World of Color, Fantasmic at Disneyland.
Yeah, see, and where you haven't seen World of Color, that's a big draw, I think, as far as which to pick, because that's a big deal.
It's a really big deal.
Mm-hmm. Especially to Steph, right?
It is to me. And
your favorite thing.
And I'll be honest, even Cars Land, there is and now with the Fantasy Fair in Disneyland, I can tell you where I would go if I were you, Kim. It would be Disneyland, I think.
Because of all the new stuff.
Because of all the new stuff that she hasn't seen yet. The Little Mermaid ride in California Adventure, Cars Land. You need almost just a day for Cars Land. Because there's so much to see and do. So many photo ops in Cars Land. So many really food and fun things that they do down Route 66. I really could spend a whole day in Cars Land and be happy.
I don't feel like I have spent enough time there because when we were there, excuse me. When we were there, it was so busy because it was newer. I think it was only a few months old. And, Cars Land had just opened a few months before.
Yeah, you were there in September, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just packed to the point where we couldn't really explore and spend as much time there as we wanted to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like I've been there, but I need to go back and really be there.
Right.
Like I'm looking forward to going back there again a lot.
Really
and Radiator Springs Racers is just like the best. The best. It's so fun.
The best. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. So I think, between Cars Land, Little Mermaid ride, World of Color, Fantasy Fair, Mickey and the Magical Map.
Yeah.
New Fantasyland is pretty cool in the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. Mm-hmm. But I still, Cars Land takes my vote over New Fantasyland.
I was going to say, Steph, you're the only one of us who's been to both. So
right.
You're the one who could say which one's better.
I would get my vote. And the new test track at Disney World, I really don't get at all.
Because that's part of our reason. Test track was down when we were there last year.
Uh-huh.
And so we haven't rode the new test track. And that's part of what my daughter's the one really pushing for Disney World.
I was going to say, it sounds like she has her mind made.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's like, it's my trip. I get to decide. Yep. I'm like, I'm paying for it. So that's one of the things she's saying is we could do the new test track. But if you didn't like it that much, I'm about 90% we're going to Disneyland at this point. There's a couple of things holding us back, but yeah, she's using the whole test track thing. So.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same ride. You do get to design a vehicle, but if you do a fast pass, it's not the same immersive experience from what I've heard. And that's, I did single rider line, which is the same as fast pass. Mm-hmm. And so I got off that ride and I was like, wow, wah. Okay, let's move on. It wasn't. I talked about it before. I think my teenage son would love that ride and think that it's great, but we wouldn't be able to do the fast pass ride. We'd have to do the whole big long thing.
Yeah, I haven't been on the new one obviously, but that's sort of how I feel about test track in general.
Yeah, so. Exactly.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I know that Radiator Springs Racers is like a similar technology.
Built on the same,
but it is so much better.
So much better. Is it just the theming that makes it so much better? I think that's probably 70% of it.
I would maybe say up 80 to 90% because it's more fun of a ride. Like the other ride, you're like, ooh, testing, heat, cold. Like, I don't know. It's just not my thing. So
and they've taken all of that stuff out, but it's you're going through and you're testing your own car to see how well it can do against this car that you've designed. But then you're out, all of a sudden you're outside and you're like, warehouses, why are there warehouses? I don't get it. And then you're back inside in the dark and it's,
So tell your daughter that if she's excited about test track, then she should be way more excited about Radiator Springs Racers.
Oh, I will.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's another factor in the decision: park hours.
Yeah.
At Disney World last year, which looking at last year's kind of bad because Easter was at the end of March last year, and it will actually be mid-April this upcoming year. But historically, at this time of year, Disney World hours are like 8 to midnight, and California hours were 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., which we're early to bed kind of people anyway. So, but it's sure open a lot longer at Disney World than at Disneyland.
For sure. We've been in March several times, and not quite that far into March, maybe like the first week or two of March. But even sometimes the parks are close at like 8. So it's definitely like short hour season. But where you're getting into more of the spring break season, you'll probably get a little longer hours. But then over the weekend, it's always open till midnight. I mean, it's not
there's no
break.
Fireworks. Fireworks are
around
on the weekend.
Yep, only on the weekend. And that goes for like Fantasmic too. So World of Color just shows all the time, but
They do, but they have 2 shows on the weekends, I think, versus one.
But yeah, it definitely closes earlier. You do have shorter days. That is definitely a factor. But if you like to be there late, then maybe Disney World. But if you don't really care about that, because we are not late. I mean, we used to be, but now that we have a baby, we definitely are okay with the 8 o'clock closing
time.
But they also always, if you need extra time, like they keep Main Street open a couple, like one time we were there and they kept Main Street open an extra 2 hours, and you could shop and eat and hang out and whatever. It was fun. So you could stay longer. I mean, even when the park says they close at 8, normally Main Street will stay open later.
Same with World of Color, because World of Color starts right at park close.
Yep.
But you can take your time walking out, and I've gone and walked through different areas and taken photos, especially Cars Land at night, which I've talked about before on this show. And then usually the Hollywood Land kind of, I'm thinking by Carthay Circle. Why can't I pull that out of my head? Out of my
Buena
brain.
Vista Street?
Yes, thank you. Buena Vista Street stays open an hour later even after that.
Yeah.
So
there's definitely time to spend in the park. Like, it's just how late do you really like to be there, and how early? Because some people really like to get there super early because of like their time change, and they're up early anyway.
Yes, and actually,
and California Adventure opens later. Like, it always is sort of like a later open time. So
yeah, I think we're open at the same time this last March. But yeah, we are like 5:30 a.m. kind of people.
Oh, wow.
So in California, that would be 3:30 a.m.
Oh my goodness. You'll be there at rope drop.
Yeah. So
and that's why you were looking at staying on site, right? Is because then you get the early entry, which you'll be up anyway.
Yes. Right. And now my husband's like, well, and then when we get into the lodging part of it, we have 3 teenagers. 2 of them are girls, and we just went on vacation together, and the time they spend in the bathroom is kind of insane.
Yeah.
And so we need 2 bathrooms, and we can't afford 2 rooms at a Disney property in California. And, they don't have the nice family suites at Disney properties there like they do in Florida. So then we have to look at staying off-site, and then we lose that hour. And my husband says, that's fine. We zig when everyone else is zagging. And if On Property gets to go to California Adventure that morning, we go to Disneyland. Yeah. So, except what am I going to do when I'm up for 4 hours before it even opens?
You'll be exhausted even by rope drop.
I will take pictures and write blog entries and all of those things in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. Have you looked, I've wondered, because I know that Grand California has some family suites and stuff. Have you looked at buying someone's timeshare points or anything for that?
Yes, it is crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's so expensive. It's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah. Grand
And then they're really
California.
big, probably bigger than you need. Oh gosh, sorry. I just kicked my garbage can. Sorry.
I hit my mic with my hands. Britt's over there kicking her garbage can. Yeah.
Sorry. I think that's the second time I've done it. I'm going to move it. Okay.
That's really funny.
So yeah, what was I saying? Oh, those suites are really pretty big. And so probably bigger than you need. And that's why, I mean, they are really expensive, even to buy someone's points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've looked into that because we have a big, huge family. And we're like, oh, that would be so fun to stay in one of the villas. But oh my gosh, it's so expensive. Even to split it between a big, huge family, it's really pricey.
It is. They are.
But it would be fun.
Would
so
be fun. Yeah. What about capturing your vacation? Are there differences with PhotoPass photographers? Have you guys noticed anything like that?
Yes. Well, I noticed coming home from Disney World last year, I had about 3 times the pictures I took at Disneyland. So I don't know. I also had kids that were going through puberty when we went to Disneyland, and they were at that age where they really didn't like having their picture taken. And now they're at the age where take tons of pictures and put them on Facebook. So I don't know if that had to do with it, but it just seems Disney World is just so much more.
Yeah, there's no more parks and there's more, but yeah, I think you would be happier now at Disneyland because once there were hardly any PhotoPass photographers in California Adventure before Cars Land opened. And now they're everywhere. They're all over the place. Don't you think, Britt?
Yeah. I think when it was under construction, it was super low priority. I don't think PhotoPass had very much of a presence, especially, it's definitely at California Adventure. But we've done PhotoPass on both coasts, and I think I do. Well, there's just more parks. There's more. I think I capture way more at Disney World than I do at Disneyland. Partially because, like I say, I go to Disneyland a lot, so maybe I'm not taking pictures of every little thing. I don't know. But at Disney World, we were just there longer. It was a bigger trip. And I think I feel like there's a bigger PhotoPass presence there. There's still a big one at Disneyland, and it's growing for sure.
Yeah. I think for a long time, I would always say that I had better PhotoPass experiences at Disney World versus Disneyland for those reasons. There seems to be a lot more PhotoPass photographers around. They're doing more magic shots, it seems to me, at Disney World.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, at Disneyland.
I've never been asked once by a PhotoPass photographer at Disneyland to do a magic shot. Well, maybe a Tinkerbell shot, but that's it. But in front of the castle.
Yeah.
But at Disney World, they asked us all the time and wanted us to do all different poses and here, hold your hand here and I never get that at Disneyland. So if you like that, then Disney World is that's a draw. I don't love that. So for me, I'm that's fine. But I know some people love the magic shots and they want to get all the magic shots they can. And
Heather on our team wants to be able to get all of them. And I'll be honest, I did not love magic shots at all. I've said that before that I don't like them. But since Heather did that post on Capturing Magic, all about all of the different magic shots, I kind of like them now.
There's some fun ones there. I agree.
Yeah.
I'll link up to that article on Capturing Magic because I agree with that too.
Yeah. It's made me a believer in the magic shots. I would say for sure. But I think I've had twice a PhotoPass photographer at Disneyland ask me, and it's always been Tinkerbell. Okay, 3 times. Tinkerbell in front of the train station at the main entrance of the park, and then Tinkerbell at the Partners statue in front of the castle. And then this last trip with just my husband and I, they did the balloons for us at the entrance to Disneyland.
Oh, I've never been asked to do that before.
I never had either. And she said, hold your hand like this. And it was a bit of a struggle. And I go, oh, are we doing balloons? And she's like, yeah. And I go, oh, okay, here we go. And so then I knew what to do. And she goes, you know about those? And I go, yes, I do. I know about them all.
Yeah.
We
because of Heather's
Stitch.
Yes.
We have Stitch at California Adventure coming out of the pavement. And they had us all, look at the pavement and scream like he was coming out of it. So I have one that's old, I guess.
That's cool. See, I've never been asked to do those at Disney, especially California Adventure. They've never asked me. But there's cute ones like the Soarin' one or whatever that Heather posted about. I think that's so adorable.
Yes, there are some really, really cute ones with, you can get Minnie Mouse sitting on a bench with you or Mickey Mouse, and there's a lot of really cute ones. But yeah, I think you have to be more assertive about it at Disneyland and ask for them than you do at Disney World.
Yeah, they're more trained up for it, I think, at Disney World. And like the first ones I had ever really done were when I was with Heather, because she knew what to ask for. And like we were at the Halloween party and she's like, okay, we're going to come over here and do this magic shot and then this. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So you got to know what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
You want the cool ones.
And the cool ones. And we can link up. I found on the Disney Parks blog a post about the special magic shots that they can do. That's another thing. They do special magic shots at Disney World for the Halloween party, and they don't do them at Disneyland.
Nope.
They don't do any special things. So
like I have probably my favorite magic shot that I have. I don't have a lot because, like I said, it's not super my thing. But I have one with like all the hitchhiking ghosts at the Halloween party at Disney World that I really love. It's fun because that's my favorite ride. So
is that? I didn't know that about you. There's probably a lot of Disney trivia, just your favorite stuff at Disney that I don't know yet.
Learning all kinds of things about Brittney today.
Yeah, we'll be able to have a trivia contest one of these days for listeners.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So what other kinds of things are there memory-wise, creating magic memories or capturing magic memories that are different about the different parks that would weigh in on a decision like this? Can you guys think of anything?
Well, I heard that Walt Disney World now has Wi-Fi all over the parks.
They sure do.
Yeah. That's
and
a big
so
deal.
I'm like, well, that would sure make it easier to upload pictures to Dropbox or...
It's not very fast.
Oh.
Not like I even had a hard time getting email sometimes on it.
If you have LTE on your phone, that's at Disney. I have LTE now when I'm at Disneyland, and it's faster than Wi-Fi for me. It's even faster than my Wi-Fi at home.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I still use my Wi-Fi at home because then I'm not like using my data or whatever.
Right.
But if you have LTE on your phone, that's a good draw. And I don't know if they have it at Disney World, if it's there yet. It probably would be by next March, I would imagine, because it's kind of going everywhere.
Yeah. You can Facebook, you can post, you can do Instagram, stuff like that from the parks. If somebody sent me a larger attachment, though, in an email, I had a hard time downloading it in the parks. But it's nice because...
Yeah, I was going to say, but still, some Wi-Fi is better than no Wi-Fi.
Exactly, because the cell service is so spotty down there that the Wi-Fi kind of makes up for it in a lot of areas. Absolutely.
Well, yeah. So I was just thinking about, that's what I was thinking. Wi-Fi being available helps a little bit with the picture taking and the Instagramming. So I don't know. One thing about California versus Florida is I never had to worry about my camera getting rained on. So I always took my big camera, which is kind of important to me.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
In March, you might still hit rain in Disneyland, to be honest. But you maybe not. You never know. That's the thing with March at Disneyland. You never know. Yeah. Sometimes we hit rain. Sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
But that's spring break, it's not usually too rainy around that time.
Not usually. I've done pretty well that time of year at Disneyland.
Yeah.
But I usually...
And I have bad luck with rain.
You do? So I was going to say, yeah. I tend to have better luck in that department. We did hit that one cold snap, but other than that, we've had only one day ever of rain at...
Oh my gosh, this dumb garbage can. I'm moving it away. So sorry. Oh my God.
I didn't hear it that time.
It was loud. I'm sorry. Okay. It's gone.
It's okay. Okay. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to add before we move on?
Did we help you at all, Kim?
Or did we just need you more?
Oh, no, I think you gave me some Disneyland ammunition. Like I said, 90% sure that's where we'll go if we can just decide where we want to stay now. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't want people to think that because I know that Disneyland is Britt's preference because it's her home park. It's the one she's raised on.
Yeah, but I'm not saying necessarily that's the right choice for everyone.
Everybody.
I hope
Exactly.
we covered why both sides are good.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, we did. No, yeah, okay. yeah, we did. I love both parks. I don't know if I could pick if I had to pick which one I like more than the other one. But for Kim, for this, just because she hasn't seen a lot of the new stuff at Disneyland, my vote would be Disneyland for sure for her. But for somebody else, it might be a different answer.
Yeah.
Depending on what they've done and what they've seen already.
Yeah. My only hesitation with telling Kim that I would choose Disneyland for her trip is just that her daughter wants the sun and laying out, and
it's her senior
trip. So that kind of stuff makes me think, well, if she wants the sun and she wants to lay out and do all that, then maybe Disney World, especially if you want to lay out and do pool stuff. I mean, all the hotels, if you don't stay on property, all the hotels have pools, of course.
They're not nice.
Not the nice, cool, themed, awesome pools like they are at Disney World. So if you're looking for pool time or even like water park time, then for sure Disney World.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's only a week. So we're not going to have that much pool time anyway.
Especially if you're at Disney World, you won't, because there's just so much to do down there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Unless you're leaving her at the hotel and going to the park without her, which, hey, well,
she might be okay with if she gets some pool time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be okay with that as a mom either. I'd be like, nope, you're coming.
Yeah, exactly. Family vacation, family. Yep. That's what I always tell my kids. This is a family activity, family.
Yeah. You can lay out at home. Let's go.
That's right. Exactly. She'll have a whole summer to lay out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Before she has to be an adult and go to college, right?
Yep. And there's always spray tans.
There you go.
Healthier.
Okay, let's do some picks with pixie dust. Britt.
Okay. I'm so excited about my pick today.
Yay.
So, and because we kind of talked about a little bit about this in our discussion, a little bit about why this would help. Okay, so there's these, we've talked about, I think, the iFi SD cards before, where you put them in your camera just like a regular SD card, and then when you're on Wi-Fi, it'll instantly transfer your pictures to like your computer or your phone or whatever. But they just introduced, they're brand new, it's called the iFi Mobi, and it has its own built-in Wi-Fi. So you put it in just like a normal card, and it will instantly transfer your pictures to your phone or your computer or your iPad or whatever without being connected to Wi-Fi. It creates its own Wi-Fi. I know. I don't have one yet, but I'm totally getting one because they're so awesome. And they're class 10, just like we were talking about last week, how they are fast, and good. So they're class 10. You can get it in an 8 gig or a 16 gig. The 8 gig is $50 or like $48. And then the 16 is $80. And you can get them on Amazon. I'll put the link to, because my husband sent me this article from 9to5mac.com, which is a blog he reads. And it talks kind of about what they do and stuff. And I was like, I am getting one of these.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And you know what it reminded me of is Shannon Kay and how she has a whole system of how she puts her camera and all that stuff.
She uses her iPad mini and all this. It totally bypasses that.
Yes.
So let's not tell my tax man that.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
I know. I'm so excited about it.
Yes. When you get one, you're going to have to report back and let us know how long, like what the speeds are, the upload speeds, how long it takes. So
I have no idea.
Does it, so remotely, like I can be walking around Disneyland, walking around Disney World, whatever, taking pictures, and it will upload remotely to my computer that's back at the hotel or at home.
And I think anyway, you have to put the app on wherever you want your pictures to go. So if you want your pictures to go on I think it will go to your phone. I'm trying to look here.
Which is the same as the iFi card. I have the regular iFi card, and I had to download an app onto my computer.
Yes. And this app is called iFi Mobi, so it's different than the regular iFi app. And then, it just has built-in network into the card it says that you never have to seek out access to transfer the pictures. It will do it automatically. And the setup to do it doesn't require you to have a computer, an account, a cloud, nothing. It's just the iFi Mobi app.
Wow.
Cool, huh?
Technology is so mind-blowing sometimes.
I know, right?
Yes. I love that pick. Great pick.
I know. As soon as Josh told me, I'm like, well, there's my pick. Yay.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Great pick.
Totally getting one. So
Yes. Yeah, you report back how it does.
I will.
Speed-wise. I can't wait to hear. Okay, Kim.
I picked a set of templates by Nettio Designs called Photo Frenzy templates, and I have actually been using them for this entire year, our vacations that we're taking, which are not Disney vacations. But I do love them because they're very clean and simple, so you wouldn't have to know a whole lot about digital scrapbooking in order to use them. And then I also like that you can have different numbers of pictures, like I think the least number of pictures you can have is 4, and the most is maybe 11. And I like that I can choose the pictures that best summarize the day. And if there's a day I didn't take too many pictures, then I still have a very complete looking spread for my album. So I just really love them. So cool.
Perfect. Yeah. There are a lot of paper scrappers I've heard, so I hear through the grapevine, that use templates actually for and then they just put all their photos in and print them up that way and then put them on a layout.
Oh.
Yeah, especially if they want to do fun, different shape things.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Okay, my pick, I talked before about how I had bought a FitBit, but I hadn't tried it out yet, and I was wondering how the FitBit would do compared to the Upband bracelet, tracking my mileage and all of that stuff. And I've been using it the last several days, and I really like it a lot.
Good.
Especially for tracking my walking and all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't do as good of a job of tracking my sleep as the Upband did, because the Upband could recognize all on its own. If I forgot to tell it that I was going to sleep, it would recognize all on its own that I was asleep and start logging that. But the Fitbit does not do that. You have to tell it that you're going to sleep and then tell it when you wake up. But it can see when you're being restless and stuff like that, but it's not smart enough yet to figure out when you've fallen asleep on its own.
Do you want to talk about what Fitbit and Upbands are in case people didn't hear us talking about them on
good idea? Yeah, I was going to go into it. Yeah, so the Fitbit is just a little teeny tiny thing that clips onto you. It looks like a mini highlighter almost. It's about a 1/2 inch wide by about 2 inches long. And you can clip it on, like, inside your pocket. It has a little pamphlet that comes with it that tells where all the different places that you can clip it. And then it tracks your movement, and it tracks your sleep, and it tracks flights of stairs that you go up and down, how many flights of stairs, how many calories you're burning, all of that kind of fun stuff. It has a little USB port that you can put into your computer and download the software onto your computer and then sync your Fitbit up to it. But I don't like that. I did do that to get it set up, but that was before I found out that you can set it up just through an app. They have an app for iPhone and Android. I believe it's iPhone and Android. But you can sync it up. If you just open the app and set it near your Fitbit, it syncs up that way wirelessly.
Oh, cool.
Which is very cool. The Upband, you had to, in order to sync it up, it was a bracelet. The Upband is a bracelet. And so the Fitbit I can hide, and it's not as obvious. This Upband bracelet isn't very attractive. It's just a rubber bracelet, and it's not that attractive. And then you have to take off the end and put it in your speaker jack on your phone in order to sync it up. And I was continually losing that little end that you have to take off. So I really like that it syncs wirelessly, and then I can just pull up. Plus, it also has a display on the Fitbit that I can just push the button and go through all of the different menus, and see how many calories I've burned, how many miles I've gone. I don't have to sync it up in order to know that. The Upband, you did have to sync it up in order to know that.
Oh, you can't see what's going on?
There's not a display on it.
Okay.
The Fitbit also, if you set it down for a little bit and then pick it up, because you tell it your name when you set up. And so when you set down the Fitbit and I go and I pick it up, it says things like smooches Steph, or it'll say game on Steph. Fun things like that I think are really cute. So
like it says it, you can hear it, or it just displays it?
No, it displays it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, is it talking to you?
No voice. but I just can read it on there and it says it. So yeah, I love it. And I think I'm really excited to take it to Disney with me so I can see how many miles I'm doing in a day. Because when I was doing that with the up band before, I was doing 13 miles at Disneyland in a day.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a lot.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. But I love it. I would highly recommend it. And it's totally geeky, which is outside of Disney, that's the only reason I would get moving and exercise at all, is if it's something geeky, because I hate exercising with a passion. And so I just don't do it unless it's Disney related. And then I die because I'm out of shape when I go to Disney.
Yeah. That's my problem too.
Yeah.
So do you use this just to like work out, and then you're also planning on using it for Disney trips?
I keep it on me all the time because it's measuring stuff all the time. And I've been actually really surprised. There was one day where I was really busy running around, running errands for the kids and this and that, end of the school year stuff. And I did almost 5 miles.
Wow.
In one day. Just running around, running my kids around doing different things, in and out of Target a couple of times, and field day at the school, stuff like that. Just end of the year busyness that everyone's approaching if they have school age kids. So I was really shocked that I did that much in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just keep it on me all the time because I want to do a better job. And now that I have this, especially like I've said, I've never had motivation to exercise, but this really does it for me because I hit my headset because I just those darn hands that I talk with all the time, because I want to beat myself. I'm competitive with myself majorly in a major way, and so I want to beat my what I did the day before, and it sets goals for you. You enter your weight and it sets goals for you so that you can maintain your weight or whatever you want to do. And then it tells you how many steps and miles every single day you need to do in order to do that. And so I just want to be able to hit that target every day, which I'm not doing right now, but eventually I might get there.
So what's the cost compared to what's a band cost versus a FitBit?
The Up Band was about $100, and the FitBit I saw the other day for $80 on Amazon, shipped and sold by Amazon.
Semi-similar, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the Up Band you can get in a whole bunch of different colors. The FitBit comes with a little band, a bracelet band thing that you slip it. It has a pocket that you slip in when you're sleeping at night, and that's the biggest differences. But I really like the FitBit for measuring activity and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's it. That's my pick.
Thanks.
Okay. Should we do our announcement first, or should we go around first? What do you want to do?
Let's do our announcement first.
Okay. We have a big announcement that we're really excited about. A few weeks ago, I had a listener, Terry Torres, who's also been on the show, Terry Torres.
Yes.
Email me some information that she saw on the Touring Plans blog that they were looking for Disney-related podcasts. And so I sent in all of my information and an application. And the Capturing Magic podcast is one of 9 podcasts that will be included on the new Touring Plans podcast network that will be debuting on June 30th. Yay! We're so excited about it.
Yay us.
Yeah. Yay Capturing Magic.
Yay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity, but you will see some changes because this podcast, the shows will be exclusively through the Touring Plans podcast network RSS feed for 30 days. And then after that, we will put them on our site. So how I envision things working right now, and it's always a work in progress with this kind of stuff because it's new and not been tried by any of us. And so how I envision things happening is that we'll record a show and we'll do a show post just like we normally do on capturingmagic.me, and it will include all of the same information. We will include a link to where you can find the post on the Touring Plans Podcast Network site and information to subscribe to that RSS feed. Mm-hmm. And then for 30 days, that's how you can get the show. And then after the 30 days is up, we'll update that same post with our regular RSS information. So if you don't want to change anything, you can still get the shows through the same RSS feed through iTunes and all of the regular channels. They'll just be a month old. Or you can
if you don't mind listening to our month-old podcast.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. But if you want the most current episodes, you listen through their iTunes and their RSS, right?
Yeah. And they'll be distributing it actually through more networks than what we are right now. Mm-hmm. And I've had listeners email me and say that they'd really like to be able to get it through some of the other Stitcher and some of the other distributors, which I just haven't taken care of yet. And my understanding is that Touring Plans will be doing that from the get-go.
Yeah.
So there are, like I said, 9 other podcasts besides ours. 8 of them will be contributing very regularly. And I've listened to almost all of them, and it's great content, really good stuff. I'm excited to have all of these podcasts in one place. Yeah. That I can download them.
Kind of a variety of different Disney type of podcasts.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Planning, trip planning, news, just a wide variety of different topics.
Yeah. I like how Touring Plans described it to us as they said it's just like a TV network where like they're the TV network, but we are all in charge of our own content. They just are like the distributors. So it's like your favorite TV channel and then all their shows.
Yep.
It's like the Touring Plans podcast network and then all their shows.
Yes.
So I think it'll be good because it sounds like it's going to be a good network and a bunch of good shows, and I'm really excited that we get to be a part of it. So soon I'm sure we'll have different listeners, new listeners. I don't know. It'll be fun.
Yeah, some new listeners and new people joining us, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. They listened to every single show and handpicked the shows for this network, and it's all, like I said, really good content. It's an honor for me to be part of something that Kim actually was the one that turned me on to Touring Plans many moons ago. Mm-hmm. When we went on a trip to Disney World. Yeah, the unofficial guide, because unofficial guide is part of Touring Plans, and that's in 2006, I think, was when Kim introduced me to the unofficial guide. And yeah, I've been a fan of ever since. So it's really an honor to be able to be part of something that I've watched and been a part of, or watched and loved, admired. Yeah. Thank you. That's the word, admired, for so many years.
Yeah. But other than that, our show is not going to change. It's going to be the same show that you've always listened to. It's just work being distributed through this cool network.
Yeah. They won't be... Yeah, they aren't making us change anything about our show. They haven't asked, and they don't plan on doing that either. Their one stipulation is that they want clean content, and we're already there. So we haven't been swearing on the phone on the show.
I have to watch my language and not.
We don't warrant an explicit label, but that is one of the things that they will be requiring, which I think is great. And they'll listen to every show before it goes live to make sure that it's Disney worthy, I guess, Disney content standards, family appropriate. Yeah, family appropriate. Yep. So that's our big news. We're excited about it. That will happen starting the 30th of June. So you'll have a little bit of time. As soon as we have links to the new site and all of those things, we will let you know for sure so that you can be prepared and update all of your settings so that you can get the latest and the greatest as soon as it's released. Right?
And we might have to switch days, right? That's the other thing that might change.
Yeah.
They don't know the schedule yet of what shows will be released what day. So we're not sure we'll be able to stay on Tuesdays, but whatever.
We'll see. Yeah. We were okay with that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got our mini shows that we've been releasing on the weekends, and I'm not sure where that will all fit in, but they're working on that scheduling right now, and we'll get it to us as soon as they have it.
Yep. When we know, we'll let you know.
Yeah. And I really do believe that a lot of our listeners, most of our listeners, will find the content on there helpful and useful, and you'll like the shows there too.
Yeah. I think it will only be a benefit.
Yep.
We'll see. It's a new thing for everyone, including them, because this is their big first endeavor into doing this type of a network. So it'll be good.
It is. I love innovation. I love new things. So it's exciting. We'll see how it goes and what happens. And we're hoping all of you will come along with us for the ride and join on this adventure with us.
keep moving forward, right?
Yep, that's right. That's right. Yep. Okay, let's go around one more time and remind everyone where they can find us. Britt.
I am, as always, at BritishDesigns.com. It's British with 2 T's, and that's where you can find my digital scrapbook site, shop, my blog, and links to all the other places that I'm at.
Perfect. Kim?
I am at documentlifenow.com, and that's my blog. So it's not all Disney. It's a lot of everything. So
It's awesome. I just pinned your potato soup recipe yesterday.
good.
Because I'm like, oh, I am totally making that. That sounds
It's very yummy.
Yeah.
So she has good recipes, good posts, all kinds of good stuff.
Wonderful photography, too. Wonderful real life photography.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Documenting your life, exactly what your URL is.
Yep. Document
Perfect.
life. Yep. It's good.
I'm Steph, and you can find me at capturingmagic.me, where we have our site and lots of information about creating and capturing magic memories. We have our iPhone apps as well, and the updates should be out this week for Disneyland and Disney World. Disneyland is in review right now, and so it just depends on how long it takes them to decide that they like it or not. And you can also find me at thedailydigi.com if you're interested in learning about digital scrapbooking, photography, Photoshop, all of that good stuff. You can head over to thedailydigi.com as well and check it out. There is a beginner's guide linked up for free on the right-hand side. And that's all. If you would like to send us tips, suggestions that we could use on a show, especially for a Magic Mini, we would love to hear them. If you have questions that we can help you answer, please email us at mail@capturingmagic.me. There's also a contact form on the capturingmagic.me website where you can contact us there as well. And that's it.
And send us a voicemail.
You know what? I had to take that down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was slowing the site down. Exactly. It was slowing the site down so badly that people couldn't enter the Mini-Me contest this weekend.
Funny.
I had some people mention it on Twitter. So I had to take it down so that
I didn't even notice it was gone. I was just there.
Yeah, it's gone.
So don't send us a voicemail.
Don't send us a voicemail for now until we figure something out. Yeah, because we don't have any way for you to leave us a voicemail right now. Hopefully we'll have something figured out once I can figure out a way to make that so that it's not slowing the site down. But okay. All right. Thank you everyone for being here, and we will see you next time where we will be capturing magic.